this VOD. We're gonna watch the Justice against the Fuel, see how this match played out, and we're gonna check how the Fuel were able to be so dominant in this match, because I didn't expect them to come in this strong in this match, because what we've seen from them, and they haven't played that much, especially before this weekend. They hadn't played that many games. Their DPS line has always been really strong, right? The K over here and Doa have been super strong for forever. But people have had doubts about the tank line. Crimzo's only recently been acquired by the team. They had Unko before, right? We haven't seen him since Crimzo's been in. And Closer's always been good. He's very consistent, but he's not like a big playmaking Lucio like Funny Ash or FD God, right? So Fuel coming in so strong against the Justice. I'm really here to see whether or not that's Fuel just being really strong, or if it's just the shit in the bed. Strong of Gamsu, I thought he was pretty good. Yeah, but it's mostly like the combination of the tank line, right? I think Gamsu and Note both good, right? But they're not stars in their role, in my opinion. And then on the other side, we have the Justice, who of course was a really strong player for them, right? Elevote, who's a really strong player, and them just playing around their team. And we'll watch how this match unfolds on a team level, not so much individual level, I think. But yeah, let's talk about these comps that both of these teams are rolling out on. And interestingly enough, the Fuel is playing double main tank right now. This is something that was actually really popular this week, playing double main tank, because D.Va was banned. And D.Va obviously had like a 90% pick rate before this week, right? But not seeing D.Va's interesting, right? And both these teams are approaching this first map differently, right? You've got the Fuel, who are playing the double main tank. They've even put Trill in, so Note's out for this map. They're actually like hard committing to this. And I think what double main tank one is really strong at is there's no D.Va, so they can get all their pulls and their fire strikes through. And pull fire strike is a really synergized ability. That combined with the Baptiste pick makes you able to do pull fire strike and then the Baptiste amplification matrix, which is a really strong combo. And on the other side, we have Justice, and their plan is to go a little faster, right? With the Baptiste, you're a little slower composition, but on the side of the Justice, you have the Moya, which is a very fast character because she only has heals when she's really close, right? She runs out of heals. Her healing orb is burst healing, so that all makes Moya a very quick character. They also have Zarya and Doomfist. So their plan should be to get close to the enemy team, bubble the Doomfist in, and then go really hard. Interesting is the Widowmaker, because it's not as fast of a character, right? But I think that's more of a comfort pick for Corey. Okay, let us get into this. First fight. Got Elevote getting some energy with his first bubbles, right? Both teams are looking at each other. This is generally what you'll see on this Ilios Lighthouse map. Teams don't really want to hard engage on this high ground because the Rein can't actually get here on these high grounds. So generally what you see is teams will wait till the point unlocks, then both teams will drop with the Rein, and then fights will break out. When you've got Winston and stuff, you can like dive up maybe. But in the Rein against Rein, teams will have to play patient until both Reins are pretty close to each other. Because if you go too early, you're going to use all your cooldowns, and then the enemy team can just speed on you after, right? Blade without Nano or Valkyrie is kind of bad, and his damage output is kind of low. Is it just to combine with the punch? So yeah, the Decay Genji here is interesting, right? I would say like the Genji is mostly because he is so mobile on a map like this, and he's very good at finishing off kills. I also think that with the pull fire strike, he could like dash in, or he could reflect the enemy team's fire strike, because this Fuel comp is also not playing a D.Va, right? Because D.Va's banned. So maybe you played a Genji to deflect the enemy fire strike and finish off kills, and then even though Blade's really bad without Nano or like some other help, you could still use it as a cleanup ult or a bait ult, right? Not like Genji can't be played without Nano. So I think it's actually to like deflect fire strikes and finish up kills mostly, the Genji. Then on the other side we have Corey on Kree, right? But yeah, I'm not sure if Genji's buffed yet on this out patch either. I don't think so. That played a lot by Element Mystic, I think, because of Yang. Maybe he wants to like deflect Moira Orb and Fire Strikes, and then just go really hard after he's deflected those. Not sure. Okay, so you see, as I said, both teams drop when point unlocks actually. Interestingly enough, Elevote is the one that goes to point. Instead of maybe like Kree or the Lucio. Elevote's the one going to point. I think their whole team might rotate to point. And yeah, Rein D.Va also going to point. So Rein D.Va are a little bit stronger when the Zarya bubbles are down, right? Zarya's really strong when she has her bubbles, but when they are down, she's pretty weak. So let's look at Elevote here. He's got both bubbles. So Justice is actually primed for a good fight here. And what's likely going to happen is they're going to bubble Stratus in right here. He's going to look for a target. And while he's bubbled, obviously he can't get Orisa pulled and he can't get stunned. So it's up to Stratus to find a lot of value here. He gets bubbled. He's going to go punch Trill. He doesn't hit a wall. Dashes out. Doa ends up falling to Elevote. So actually that 100 charge Zarya doing a lot of work for the Justice here. And likely the few are going to lose this first fight. First fight on Koth is a really big deal, as you start losing the ult percentage war, right? You see Justice now have their Moira ult, almost have their grab, almost have their shatter, while few basically only have their Baptiste ult, which is a good ult, especially if you can combine it with the Pool Fire Strike, but they don't have anything else, right? So yeah, Justice is going to take this first point, and let's watch that from Elevote POV real quick. And I think what was really good for the Justice is that they were able to get all that Zarya energy on the enemy high ground, right? Or on the high ground, so that when the fight actually started, Elevote was already really high charge. Okay. I think actually this fuel comp might also be a counter to the Symmetra we've been seeing a lot. If you guys watch a lot of the other series, you'll know that Symmetra has seen a ton of play on Koth. And that's because everybody's been playing double shield, and then they play a Mei, and then with that they also play like the Sim, right? Or the Kree, or whatever the enemy teams plays. But Sim has seen so much play on Koth that actually both these comps might be like a semi-counter to Sim. Because you want to play the Doomfist against the Symmetra, because he's basically the only character this meta that can really get on her quick and deal with her before she charges her beam or puts up her turrets. And then the same for Genji, right? So I'm thinking that this fuel comp might be a semi-counter to Symmetra, and so might this Justice comp. And that's why you're seeing a lot of Doomfist here, because he deals with Symmetra really well, right? Very interesting. I think that's why Fuel might be picking both the Doomfist and the Genji as well, just to be able to get on Symmetra and burst her quickly, if that is the pick for the Justice. And they have shown that they've played Symmetra in the past. Okay, so now that we've had that little detour, let's go see what happens in this fight. Doa goes in on Corey. Problem for the Fuel is that they have no bubble, right? They don't play the Zarya themselves. So Doa is a lot more vulnerable than Stratus is. He doesn't end up getting Corey. He gets stunned, and he's going to go die here. So a little overzealous from Doha maybe, to go on Corey there without, you know, a bubble on his team. And then yeah, the K dies right after to the Fire Strike. And at that point, both your DPS are dead, so the fight is lost for the Dallas. Even though they got the point cap. But the K makes the swap over the Tracer, and Doha makes the swap over the Mei. So that even solidifies the theory, right? That this was more of a, hey, we're countering Sim kind of comp, instead of, hey, we think this comp is really good into every comp. Very interesting first fight. Bad overall for the field, really good for the Justice, because if you look at their ultimate percentage, you have the Cole, the Baptiste ult is the same, right? But if you look at the other ults, they're just so far ahead. So they should be able to snowball the next fight, or even the fight after that, with these ultimates. Okay. Fuel walk in far right. They have swapped over to the Tracer and the Mei. This is an interesting combo, right? I think the Tracer really is a decay flex pick, right? And it's also very strong against Doomfist, in my opinion, because what Doomfist wants to do is he wants to set up on an off angle, and then second, he wants to get bubbled in and go on whoever's close, right? He wants to like get as many people as possible or punch somebody. But if you can stop him or find him during the time that he's setting up, so if you can stop him in phase 1, and Tracer's really good at being mobile and finding Doomfist, right? He actually cannot take that duel, and he has to back out, and you get that space. So I think the Tracer, 1 is a decay pick, 2, it's really good against a specific Doomfist pick, and then Mei is just a really good all-around character. Mei especially is good against the Zarya, and Mei tanks really hard, right? Wouldn't be Torb be better than Tracer? Torb is a lot less mobile, and Decay also hasn't shown that he likes to play Torb. So I think this is kind of a fuel special, right? To go Tracer, because Decay is so damn good at this character. Okay. So they're getting a lot of space, actually. Even walking out, Dallas isn't engaged on early. They're able to just grab all the space, maybe because they have the Mei. So Justice kind of want to play around their Doomfist, right? So Stratus has said, hey, I'm going to set up above them. When they walk out, you're going to bubble me. I'm going to go in. So they're getting a lot of space here. It's good. Oh, and then they do the pull Fire Strike combo, right? And normally you have the Mei to block this, but notably, Justice have nothing to block it. Like, I feel like you normally play either Sigma or Mei, or in Dallas's case Genji, to kind of block this combo, but there is zero counterplay to this combo from the Justice except for dodging the pull. So that is a weak spot in their comp against the Dallas comp, actually. A nice usage of the Baptiste ult. Plus Fire Strike plus pull, right? Aim God dodges it. Maybe Elephode could have bubbled Corey, but he wants to bubble Stratus again. So Corey just dies here. That's rough. Elephode also drops to 1 HP. He bubbles after, but he might also die here, right? So really good pull Fire Strike, Baptiste ult combo. Stratus goes in. I don't think he gets the bubble, because there's a lot of panic probably on. Yeah, Roy gets the bubble, but he doesn't really need the bubble in the back here. He's still going hard. He ends up killing Crimzo, but he's used all his cooldowns. It's a 1-for-1 right now. The Shatter comes out for Roar, but he misses. And Elephode grabs. But I should win the fight off this grab. Closer ends up killing Stratus, but because Justice had such a massive ult advantage going into that fight, like I pointed out earlier, right? They had the Shatter, the Grav, and the Moira ult. Their Moira ult was mostly used for defensive, and so was their Shatter. Their Shatter whiffed, but the Grav ends up finishing up that fight, even though Corey insta died, right? It's very rough, but yeah, just that ult advantage, and I guess defensive advantage really doing work for them. Okay, next up. Dallas again retaking. They have a lot more ults now. They had to swap off both their DPS though, so they're very low on their ults. They've got Shatter up and Beat, but Justice still have like a kind of... Yeah, they're kind of even in ults, right? They've also got the Beat. There's the Creel and the Doom ult, basically. Interesting second fight, or third fight already, actually. Here. And Elevote still has high energy. He has not died yet. So that's a big boon for Zarya. She doesn't have to use any bubbles for energy. So all the bubbles can be used to sustain. Okay. Now let's take the high ground. Being the Justice, you have to give this up, right? You have no spam compared to the enemy team. They have Baptiste and Orisa. And you have Kree, right? And Zarya, I guess, with pretty high energy. But they can't get up this high ground because normally teams would Maywall up, right? They would Maywall up the side and play over here for a while, get some spam, and then back out. But Justice can't do that step because they obviously don't have the May. So Dallas kind of get this high ground for free. There's also no Orisa to pull them off. And now Dallas are going in super mega aggro with the Beat. And usually I'm not too big a fan of Beat engages, but since Justice don't have Beat yet, it's not too bad. What's Justice's current weak link? I'm not sure yet. That's what we're trying to figure out, Atomic Skull. Is Dallas just good, or did Justice just not do good? So nice pull Fire Strike comes out, hits Corey, and then Trill just runs in and he smacks Corey. And I'm not sure why Justice is this grouped up. I guess they just didn't expect the quick engage from the field. Corey again gets clapped. Elevo gets chased down. He should also die here. And now Arc gets the beat up, right? But it's a little too late. He can't use it anymore. Justice do a good job of not using any ults after Corey's died there. You fucking... Roar takes... Roar takes Gamsu on a field trip. Again, Justice still have decent ults, right? Dallas have the Bongo, they have the Shatter, and the Pulse Bomb actually. And a big combo I've seen this weekend is the Pool plus the Pulse Bomb. It's been very good for teams. Your ceiling becomes prettier every day. You like it? Why do you like my ceiling so much? It's just white. It's the lighting. Definitely the lighting. Anyway. And they almost have the Baptiste ult too. So Ult Banks looking pretty decent here for Dallas. Them only having to use the Beat there was great, right? I'm not sure if they knew that Arc just barely didn't have Beat yet, but if they did, that's excellent ult tracking. If Arc had the counter Beat there, it would have been really good for Justice, but he didn't have the Beat. They were able to instantly blow up Corey with a nice pull. A Fire Strike. Why is it Crimzo played over Unko? Not sure. I think Crimzo is really good though. So I guess he's just been performing better in scrims than Unko has. Okay. So again, you can't really contest this high ground being the field. All you can do is really get a pull because the Rein has a hard time getting up there, right? Maybe the field could have sat over here, walled up, and then played here for a little bit. But in general, you don't want to go too aggressive. You kind of want to bait the enemy team in first, especially since they have the Tracer, which isn't as much upfront damage as the Kree is. So they walk out. Corey instantly ults. Arc also beats. So very aggressive engage here from Justice. Coming in with the Beat. Stratus goes in. He doesn't get the Beat. He has to ult out. Shatter comes out. Nice Shatter actually from Chill. Hits Aim God and Arc. So really good Shatter from him. And if Justice don't win this fight quickly, that's a big loss on them, right? Because they just use free ults to engage. Good Shatter. I don't think they get too much off. Oh, they get arc off the shatter. Nice. And they also don't find anything with the Doomfist ult because of a nice drone from Crimzo here. So a really good fight for Dallas Fuel so far, and they used 3 ultimates, but they ended up getting rid of a sticky bomb, and the shatter ended up hitting a lot. A nice fight so far. They're probably just gonna win it after that. Yeah. Justice kind of like used all their ults to engage, but it wasn't that great. Like, especially them engaging hard on the point is rough, right? Because Stratus didn't get the beat, and it's hard for like the whole team to get in there. So the supports have to just rush, and then they get shattered because they rushed in there. Justice now making swaps. Again, I really feel like the doom for both teams was to counter Symmetra, which we didn't see in this game, but it's kind of like a meta game thing, right? And then now they're going over to the Mei and the Torbjorn, which Torbjorn's good against Tracer, right? It's not an auto win, but Torb's really good against Tracer. But this devalues the Zarya a little bit. Now, Zarya is really good at getting Doomfist in, right? But Orisa with the extra shield and the pulls gets more value than Zarya, unless fights go really long. Yeah. Justice group up. Oh, the pull fire strike comes out again. Stratus isn't able to react with the wall, which is honestly bad. Especially when the amplification matrix is put at the base of the fire strike. Let's look at Stratus POV there real quick. Yeah, he's just not in time with the wall. And they get hit by the pull fire strike combo with the Baptiste ult, and he dies instantly. Maybe he could have also shifted instead of walling, since nobody else really got hit. But ideally, you have your Mei wall the fire strike off, so it doesn't hit your team, right? And yeah, at that point, fight's already lost. They're also using Mei ult, though it's going in hard. Elevo uses Graph, but they're down their Mei, and they're also using the Moira ult. So there was a world where Justice maybe could have like died quickly here, then came back in. But at the same time, it was 75%. It's probably last fight. But yeah, just the 2 fights, one straight up for the fuel with their pull fire strike combo basically. And then Stratus picks Mei, and he can counter it, and he doesn't block it. Then this map's over. Yeah, I feel like Zarya is obviously a good pick when you have the Doomfist, right? But when you don't have the Doomfist, he's not as good. Roar's Shatters didn't get too much value there, and especially Crimzo's Baptiste ults plus the pull fire strike got a lot of value for Dallas Fuel. Okay. Like the one fight where Justice had like 4 ults coming in, they used all of them really early on and didn't get enough value, and then Trill just got a big shatter. And it's hard for Roar to shatter, right? Because there's 2 shields. There's the Orisa shield and the Rein shield. So it's very hard to still get your shatter off when there's that many shields. You're happy to see Trill play at least, yeah. Definitely a good decision here from the Fuel, in my opinion, to play Trill Gamsu, because Rein is actually seen with Orisa and Lucio is actually seen to be like really strong on King of the Hills. Just because Lucio, because he gets you to the point first, is really good. That's like Lucio's strengths right there. Getting the team in position to fight. And imagine if you don't have Lucio being Justice, you would be all the way like back here right now, and the enemy team would be able to go all the way up, right? And they'd be able to hold like really close in a great spot for them just because you did not pick Lucio. So you see Lucio almost exclusively on Koth, right? Like, you don't see many other supports. Like, team tried to play a little bit of spam, but it's just hard. So again, both teams are rolling out on these Doomfist variants of these comps. Doa Decay playing the Doomfist Genji, and Justice playing the Zarya Doomfist Kree, which is so interesting to me. Let's really see what this Genji does here for the field, because they swapped off it earlier. Or maybe they just don't think it's good on retake. But this isn't too good of a Symmetra map. That might debase that whole theory. So I think what they're really looking to do here with the Genji is to do pull plus fire strike. And then they want the Genji dash to finish people off, right? So what you saw Fuel do there, really, you go back a little bit, is they throw out the pull fire strike. And then as it hits, right, you instantly see the K go with it as well. So I think they're just trying to get surprise one-shots on people with that whole combo. For example, if Corey was hit by it, he would have been dead right now, right? Because obviously Aim God can shift out of it, but Corey can't. And Genji Dash does 50 damage, plus Genji Melee does 80 damage, right? Or you can even right-click Melee if he does good. And then the Pull Fire Strike does 100 damage. So you've almost one-shot somebody, and you just need to like breathe on them and they're dead. And then Doha comes in with the E shift combo. Actually, Corey was really far up there. His team was really far back. So it's just the burst that Justice is trying to put out there. And if Elevo can't like properly bubble Corey in a situation like that, he just dies. So it's high tempo plays from Dallas, which could be countered, especially if there was a Mei. It's definitely counterable. But there's no Mei on the Justice right now, so let's see what their swaps are here. They don't swap anything for now. And I think Doomfist on retake is really hard, right? Because Doomfist is always really good when he's in a position to... when he's like set up to like slam on people. But Doomfist isn't that good when he's not set up, right? Like when Doomfist can play like on this high ground here and he can slam on people that walk out. That's very strong because then he gets that 125 damage E. But when Doom has to walk out of a choke himself, all he can really do is punch. And if the Dallas fuel tanks are good, they'll just take that punch, not get hit into a wall, and then he doesn't do too much damage, right? So it's hard for Doom on retake in my opinion. Obviously the bubble makes it a little bit easier, but I'm interested to see how the Justice set up here. Again, Pull Fire Strike comes out. Elevote uses bubble for energy, I guess. Aim God lacking a little bit behind. Is Aim God gonna die here? No. Gets out. Elevote uses personal bubble. Elevote's got good energy now. And Doa goes in and he gets killed. See what happens to Doa here. Okay, so he ease in behind everybody. So I guess he's expecting his team to go in a little harder. And then he tries to right click out. Oh, no, he just gets stuck. So I think that was just a little bit too aggressive for Doha. He doesn't have the Zarya bubble, so he has to play a little bit more safe in my opinion. Okay. Now, Justice has made a good rotation. They're set up on point now. Doa's dead. So this is looking really good for them. Cho almost has ult because of the successful Pull Fire Strike constantly. But Crimzo doesn't have his ult yet. So this is a hard fight to win for the Dallas Fuel here. They're going to go try and touch. They might not get it because it's so close. And Elevote is really high energy. So just looking at the whole fight situation, this is looking like a really good fight for Justice right now. Oh, they do get the touch with Gamsu. Punch comes in from Stratus. He gets the bubble. The bubble doesn't do too much. Oh, and Corey's on Widow. I didn't even notice this. But Corey swapped over from the Creed to the Widowmaker, I guess. Kind of like that swap, I guess. It's hard to get through the double shield, but this map has a lot of open sight lines. The Widow could be really good. And Dallas should really win this fight, especially with the Widow in the back there. Yep, nice. Elevote being full energy helped a lot. Okay. Winston should have a passive that deals damage if he jumps from high ground without his shift, just his weight. Winston's in a good spot right now, I think. He doesn't need that pass. He's good enough. That would actually make him really strong. Anyway. Okay, so fuel, rotate inside of right, just like they did earlier, right? And Justice can't really engage on them inside. They have these 3, 4, I guess 5 who are pretty good, but they have the Widow sitting outside, which has only sightlines on point, right? So you always want to fight inside of the Widow LOS. So Justice playing a little bit more back here, waiting for the fuel to come in, is pretty smart. They do have to touch. War goes and touches. Pull comes out from Gamsu, and the pull Fire Strike hits again. It hits both supports, so really nice pull Fire Strikes, honestly, for Trill and Gamsu this first round. Like, I really feel like this has been their strat, right? They're playing around this Fire Strike, pull Fire Strike combo so much, but there's no D.Va in play. So them bringing it out so much is actually like really good and strong and hard to counter, obviously. Maybe if you pick a Sigma, you can eat it. Or if you pick the Mei, then you can block it when the Baptiste ult comes out. Nice grab from Elevote, but the drone comes out from Crimzo. Doesn't get killed at all, and they end up winning this fight as well. A nice retake there actually from the fuel. And Justice ended up using like all of their ults, but let's just see. Let's go back. Let's analyze this fight. Let's do a Kasora analysis here. Okay, so the Dallas Fuel walkout. Corey's in the back right here. Doha is on a flank right over here, which nobody spotted. Where's the rest of the Justice? Okay. They're all kind of grouped up as a stack of 4 here. Arc is wall riding too, so they're 5 stacked right now. I think I could see the Justice spread out a little bit more. They could have like Stratus maybe up here, right? So that when people go in, he can E inside of them, cutting off their engage. They could have... Not sure. I like Corey being in the back, obviously. But they're really stacked against this pull Fire Strike combo. Okay, and then Trill just walks on point. He's able to walk on point. And the perfect pull comes in for Gamsu. He hits 5 people with 1 pull, which shouldn't happen when their whole strategy is based around the pull Fire Strike, and they also have Baptiste ult off, and you have no way to counter it. So actually, Crimzo misses the Baptiste ult on the Fire Strike. They would have instantly killed Arc and Aim God if he had hit it. But he misses it, which is a whiff on the Dallas Fuel's part. They would have instantly won this fight with the combo if Crimzo had timed his Baptiste ult a little bit better, but it comes in just a second too late. Then Justice wall chunked. Stratus has to E away, so the whole setup is kind of ruined because Stratus is the carry of the comp, right? They're playing Zarya, so they can bubble Stratus. So Stratus's cooldowns need to be used aggro. He needs to be aggro so he can get that bubble and he can do work, right? But if he has to use his cooldowns to go out and he's already low at the start of the fight, that start of the fight's already looking bad for the Justice. And this kind of stuff can't happen on defense because you are the ones that get the set up. Like, I think Stratus maybe should be more set up for this whole rotation. He could be like up here, or he could be under the field, you know, or he could be up here, playing just in a spot kind of away from his team, where Elevote can still give him the bubble, and he is the one that can engage instead of him getting pulled like right in his team, and just getting wrecked by it. Yeah, not sure why they're so stacked. I get you want to help Roar, but when the Fuel's whole strategy is to just focus everything on a pull, you have to counter that by dodging and splitting from the pull, right? So yeah, Stratus, like, even getting pulled out of his punch is like the worst, right? Because now he also doesn't have that cooldown. He has to use another cooldown to escape, and he's out of cooldowns. And he is the one that should be the carry for the Justice. So I think Justice not recognizing the field win condition here, especially with the Baptiste ult too. They could have all died there just if Crimzo had timed it a little bit better. Makes them lose this fight, which they're in a defensive position. They have a bunch of ults. They should be more set up to win a fight like this, right? Shatter comes out from Chill, hits Arc, and the grab comes out, but the drone, nice drone there from Crimzo actually. And the Alice will just win this fight, mostly off that pull. But the worst thing here, the absolute worst thing, is that Justice used 3 ultimates to try and win that, including grab, which is like a super good ult, right? And Fuel only used 2, and these aren't even that big ultimates, right? I think Orisa ult's a big ultimate, Beat is like a really big ultimate, so they didn't even have to use those to cap the point. So very good fight for the Fuel. Get more staggers. Fuel sets up right above Justice, and that's very good, right? Because they could like engage from this high ground if they get a really nice pull again, and Justice kind of have to 6-man rotate to get somewhere, just like they did earlier, right? Which worked really well for them, but now, okay, so again, aggro Beat coming out from closer. This time Arc has this Beat though, and they can kind of counter with their own Beat. Let's see if that happens before anybody comes out though. I think, let's see if they're also pull fire striking right with the Beat here, because that's what they did earlier. They just 3, 2, 1, throw in all their cooldowns. Yeah, the pull comes out. Pull gets Elevote Name God. And then again, Chill fire strikes on the pull. Clean execution from Dallas. He hits Aim God. Elevote's bubble eats the fire strike. And then Arc dies mid-beat. Oh no. Life is pain. So yeah, the punch from Doa just goes onto Arc, who I think maybe should have been wall riding on the re-engage there, not sure. But that's devastating, because now you just lose the fight and you've used Beat. I think Fuel only used 2 ults as well, right? You have to go, Sir Elite? Okay, see you later. Thank you for hopping in. And now Fuel still have a bunch of ults. Justice is having a really hard time retaking this. They're making a swap over to Orisa, but I think Orisa's mostly good when you already have, like, when you can get the Bongo, right? Bongo's a really good ult. And Fuel have Genji. So when Genji gets pulled, he can deflect, and he can deflect the Fire Strike from Roar, which I think is a big reason why the Dallas Fuel have decided to go Genji. It's like a mini diva with the deflect. Okay. Again. Pull comes out. Gamsu gets pulled down. The Fire Strike comes out on the pull. It's a little bit late. Doesn't hit. Kind of a weird angle. Doa gets Corey. And then again. Oh, Stratus is also swapped to Mei. That makes sense. Right. You're playing the Doom because of the Zarya. But yeah. At this point, the Blade comes out. Dallas's aggression just takes Justice by storm, I think. That was actually kind of one-tricking this pull Fire Strike combo. But why fits what's broken, right? Like, why not when Diva's banned? They really abused that on this first map. And I think Justice just walked straight into their plan. Didn't have the counter. Normally you can kind of counter it with Mei, but they weren't playing the Mei. Crimson does end up dying to Corey, but Yada comes out from Chill. And yeah, fight should be over. How big of a difference do you expect Lucius would make? Or the Justice? I think, I don't know, I think just synergy between Elevote and Lucius is really high. They're like big friends, I think. So that would help. And I think Roar, especially lately, he's been very passive on Reinhardt, and he hasn't been hitting too many shatters. And Lucius is more of a big dick player, you know. He engages a lot. He goes for really aggressive fights. And his best character is Reinhardt. Well, I think Roar's better on like Winston and Hammond, you know, that kind of stuff. But I think Lucius would help a lot for Justice. Not sure how much though, obviously. But it would definitely make them a better team, in my opinion, especially when they have to play Reinhardt in these weeks. Hello, by the way, Spino Zone. I get kind of confused because I feel like the one team is called Dallas Justice. After 2 years, I should know better. I'm sorry, Jijigi. I cry every team. I don't even know that team, but this is the Dallas Fuel against the Washington Justice. Okay, we continue. Hello to speculation, of course. Yeah, definitely. I mean, just having only 7 players is rough, I think, for the Justice. Because if somebody gets sick, like they had a week where they were all sick, right? They didn't even do bad in that week, but they just have no substitutes. Which I think is a little bit less bad with offline play, right? Because people don't get sick as much when they're just staying home. But still, it's rough. Okay. We continue. Note has been brought in now for the Dallas Fuel. And Justice is now also playing the double shield. They're playing a Hanzo. And they're playing the Rush. So normally when you see this Justice comp, you play the Kree. And you just attempt or Kree or Torb. Torb is really good with this comp too. But it kind of aims to be that Rush comp that people have played before. And then you do exactly what the Dallas Fuel just did, right? With pull Fire Strike combo, making for a great engage tool, and then you wall the enemy team off and you run them over. Could there be a meta shift that Washington does not have players to fulfill? One thing that comes to mind to me is like Sombra Tracer, because Corey is known as like a long-range hit scan player. His Tracer is serviceable, and Stratus is mostly like a long-range projectile player who's really good at like Mei, Hanzo, Pharah, right? And his Sombra is also serviceable, but if you think about teams like Atlanta Reign, where they have Edison and Sharp who could play those characters, they would just get outdueled, you know, in those roles. I think that kind of stuff is where Justice's players lack. But generally the meta has been like okay for them, I feel. Okay, anyway, we continue. Interesting Dallas comp here. They're deciding to play for a spam comp, but they're playing the Fair Mercy, and they're deciding to play the Hanzo here. So it's more of a spam comp instead of a normal like Mei comp where Mei can stop the Reinhardt a little more. So I think Gamsu and Note actually have to play really passive here. And wait for like the enemy shields to crack before they can even walk up. Because if they go before that time, Justice can just run them over. And I don't think the Hanzo here helps out for the Justice. I think having a Kree or a Torb would help a lot more against this Dallas comp. Because then you can just go really hard. But either way, what the Justice have to do here is just wait until the Dallas can like walk upright. And then they have to wall either over the tanks and then just speed the heck on them, right? Like just go really quick, burst them down. There's no Mei on the enemy team, so your rank can just swing and win the fight that way while Corey is in the back poking, I guess. It's kind of more of a shield pick here, but you can't really poke war against the Pharah Hanzo. You need to just play fast, in my opinion. So we'll see what the Justice end up doing here. Okay, so Dallas is all going from main currently. Roar's just holding up his shield. It's getting, but Roar's shield is already dead. So that's bad. And the pull fire strike comes out. Okay, just jumps out. War needs a regen shield. They're still low. Okay. They kind of just need to go. They're just sitting there. Okay, they get the wall. Wall just barely whiffs, but they get Gamsu on the other side either way. And then while all that's going on, Aim God gets picked. So wall whiffs. Roar's shield is already low before going in. Does he have shield now? Oh yeah, he has shield now. That's good. Needs to shield up. Good. The 1-for-1 happens, but Aim God dying there is like really bad. How's the kid get that shot? Because I think Aim God should just go hard with the team, right? He's just kind of sitting there. I guess maybe he doesn't expect the Hanzo. But what Aim God should really do, oh, my team drops. I'm also going to drop from the back line and just heal my team from here. Would be a lot better. Or you should at least be jumping. Can you move your cam down to show the kill feed better? Yes, of course. Let me see here. Select every little thing here. Oh, that should show more of the kill feed. Okay. Let's get all the way back to this fight. And this kind of illustrates like how you should play the rush, right? Because the whole point here for the Justice comp is that the Justice comp is a rush comp. They're playing Lucio. And when you play Lucio, you're kind of saying, hey, if we get a good wall on you, we will use our speed boost and we will run you over, right? When you're out of position, we have that speed advantage so we can make plays on you. So when the enemy team that isn't playing Lucio, you have to use your speed advantage to play really fast on the enemy team. And if we look at this Dallas attack here as a whole, I think it is already a mistake from Roar to be shielding up here. Why are they not LOSing? Why are they taking the poke war? Right? Like, why is his shield going down right now? His shield being 1 HP here makes no sense and makes them not able to engage on the enemy tanks when they rotate in. Because you want that Rein shield when you're actually engaging. And then this pull fire strike combo is pretty lackluster. I think you'd rather go on the tanks here. Like, use the pull when you're engaging to pull out the enemy team's Sigma, right? They actually move up. Stratus gets a good wall. But while that wall goes up, where's Arc? He speeds in his team. Good. That's exactly what he wants to do, right? Roar and Elevo go up. The wall just barely missed Note. The Note's able to slip out. Would have been better if this would have been closed and the other side would have been open. And Gamsu goes in. And while this is going on, I think Aim God should be dropping. There's no reason for him to be up alone here. He should be playing with his Hanzo right now, in my opinion, unless the Hanzo's also on the high ground. So it's easier for him to heal his double tank, and he doesn't have to focus on DPS. Aim God ends up dying. Roar and Elevo keep going in, right, which is great. And the Corey even gets the K, but there's no heals anymore now for the Justice. Like, Lucio healing isn't enough, so they're just gonna end up getting poked down. Roar still has a big shield, but it's too little, too late. Or he kills another one. But just the fact that, one, the wall was a little bit off, and two, Aim God wasn't able to drop down in time and to heal his tanks. It's kind of what lost that for the Justice. And maybe instead of playing the Hanzo, they could be playing like the Torbjorn or the Kree, which would obviously be better against this fuel comp and be more of an all-round pick, even though Corey did great there, right? Okay, we continue. They walk up, Gamsu gets pulled. Gratis isn't ready to wall though. And they don't end up getting him. That's okay though. They forced out some cooldowns. Okay. The pull Hanzo ult comes in. It's a really nice combo there for the fuel. They end up getting Gamsu with that. And they're actually in a really good spot here, right? If they could just play this wall and then Maywell anyone that comes close and then speed on them, this is actually really good for them to hold, because it's hard to peek around this corner as Pharah, because otherwise you can just go for the pull on Pharah, right? And try to one-shot her. Nice, they get another good pull kill. So Fuel is really, or Justice is really playing well around there. Orisa pulls right now. Kind of sloppy from Dallas to be getting staggered like this. And then Doa goes for a barrage. There's obviously not that many characters in the Justice lineup that can deal with barrage, but mostly looking at Aim God here. He doesn't use the... Yeah, he's not able to use his drone because Doa kind of just like slipped by everybody. Nobody noticed him. Does he just like E in? It's the team, the fucking Fuel is dying right now. They're 2 down. But Crimzo drones him too. I really like that. That's a good drone barrage combo. Drone obviously keeping the Pharah alive through the barrage. Really good. Oh, and that's what allows Doa to get this huge barrage. So yeah, drone plus barrage is a really good combo. Because you're all looking at the Pharah. She gets drone, and it takes a while to kill that drone. Nice execution there from the Fuel. They only have to use one ult there to retake. The drone doesn't go upwards. I don't think he got the effect. I think he did. Yeah, see? Look at his health. He got the effect for sure. Oh, show. Even though he's up in the air, he still got the effect somehow. Look, because he goes to that threshold, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. think he even might have died if you didn't get the drone there. So, nice drone. Good setup from Doha. Nobody spotted him going there, actually. Maybe Justice could have looked a little more up. Now Justice end up swapping to the Kree. So, good swap. And then this is going to be a really hard, important retake, right? Because if they're not able to stop the cart here, Fuel's attack is looking super strong, right? And this is a really good spot to hold. But Justice really want to come up clutch in this next fight. Maybe go for like a pull fire strike at the start. Try to pick someone that way. How did this one May wall the BAP? What? How did this one May wall the BAP over his own drone field on Eichenwald the other day? I think what happened, and I thought, is that drone can get completely, like if you cancel LOS on drone, then it doesn't work anymore, right? So what the May did was they just May walled on top of the drone. Yeah, if you wall the drone, it doesn't work. Exactly, Jesus. You need LOS on the drone. So if you wall it, then the LOS goes away. Learn something new every day. Okay, so what is this? What? What are they doing? They're trolling. The Justice is trolling. We figured it out. Okay, no, but for real. They need to walk out. And I don't think even going high ground is that great here, because these chokes are so rough to deal with. I think what you want to do as the Justice, activate Windows. No. Windows will not be activated. You want to walk out low ground, because here you're not stuck in a choke, right? This isn't a choke. This is just a massive doorway. The Dallas Fuel will have high ground, which is rough on you, especially if Note has high ground. Let me think about this. Maybe going up on that high ground is good, but they just need to make a more explosive walkout, and they need to use their Lucio speed to their advantage. What the Fuel is doing right now, they're all taking the high ground. That's good. They have Gamsu push the cart. But then Justice come out, and they just kind of use their stuff in a doorway. Like, they use the Baptiste ult here, which kind of roots them here, right? I'm not sure if this is how you'd want to, like, I would want to use my Baptiste ult here and then pull fire strike this area, right? Even though the Pharah would be above you in that case, they like all try to look at the Pharah Mercy right now, but that's not gonna help, right? And then they get Sigma ulted, kind of stuck, and they still have to walk out, and then, you know, the fucking enemy team's ult, Baptiste ult, is over here. And Shradders can't wall it because they're not walking out. They really need to wall the enemy team. Like, that's the one of the big advantages of Mei, right? She could put the wall right here. You'd be blocking off the whole ult, and it'd be very good, because then you have your Baptiste ult up. Nobody can do anything about it, and theirs is walled. So I'm not sure what the Justice plan here was walking out. I also feel like they're not making use of the Lucio at all. Right, Lucio's very strong. You use the speed boost. I think if you are the Justice, you go top, right? You know there's no barrage right now, so you're somewhat good in that regard. You can walk out here, put your Rein shield like this. You can even put your Orisa shield in front of it. and you Baptiste ult this area, so you force these people off high ground. They Baptiste ult, you wall it off. You go for pull plays with the Baptiste ult. Yeah, and then they can like gain space that way. But what is this Baptiste ultimate that they use? Like, you can't Baptiste ult a Pharah in the sky. Like, you just can't. It's not gonna work. Like, the timing isn't even clean. They should Baptiste ult when the actual thing comes out if they want to Baptiste ult Fire Strike. They even hit closer, but he has his Mercy ultimate, so he's never gonna get hit. And then Roar's shield just insta dies because of the enemy team's Baptiste ult. If Stratus walls at the beginning of the Amp Matrix, it would be worth for Crimzo to focus a pillar down to use Amp or just get over it. I think he'd probably want to get over it because I think it lasts too long, or like the Maywall has too much health for it to like be worth to like just shoot it for that long. But very bad attack here for the Justice, and they just get spammed inside right now. That's not the way you want to use that Baptiste ult. Maywall's too versatile. I think it's really strong, yeah. But Justice don't use it here. Okay, so Elevo goes to touch point, but with Roar dead, it's looking very dire for them. They're also going to get Hanzo ulted up top. The beat comes out. Stratus goes hard. Stratus misses the Mei ult on Gamsu, who played him like a fiddle. Elevo gets shown, but at the end of the day, you're playing 5v6, right? Now Roar's back. But that is like, that was for U6 ults, so maybe it's not the end of the world for the Justice, who didn't have all the ults right. But to stop the snowball, they kind of needed to win that fight, and they kind of just played into Fuel's plan. Like, Fuel wants them to sit in the room and just get spammed by Pharah. You want to like aggressively push out with your Lucio amp to get space, I think, if you are the Justice. And maybe they could have went low ground for that. Maybe they could have used the Baptiste ult better on high ground. I'm not entirely sure, but not a great fight for them. And now this just reinforces the Fuel snowball, right? Okay. So drone comes out here for Elevo, but it's really early. So the wall comes out. Doa swapped over to the Mei at this point. And then Stratus just gets picked. Like that. That was not good timing on that ultimate. I'm going to go head to bed. Online classes at 8 a.m. Thank you for the interesting analysis, Mysticosaurus. Good night. Good night, Jesus. Thank you for hopping in. Drone gets killed right at the start. Yeah, I just think that's too early of a Orisa ult. Because when you Orisa ult, ideally you make the enemy team do one of two things, right? Ideally you make them run into the Orisa ult and get killed by you while they're running in. Or they need to like get out. And there's no speed on the enemy team. So you can like use it a little later when they get closer. Get it closer? And then you can really abuse that, I feel. Because you're playing Lucio, you need to use your speed. And then Justice isn't playing Theater Shirk, they might as well be playing Zenyatta at this point. A little closer. Yeah, they bongo. Doha's pretty close, but he gets a really good wall, actually. And the wall also blocks the pull. So they're trying to use the speed. And then they also just run around the wall and they get headshot. Like a sort of lol. And yeah, this is a disaster, right? They just used one of the best ults in the game, Bongo. Got nothing. They even lost somebody while doing it. Nice headshot from the K. Duo in general looking like pretty good. They're using their ults aggressively, setting stuff up. They're not the cleanest, and I feel like especially Justice is making a lot of mistakes here. And they're abusing that really well. Okay. Last fight territory for the Justice here. They again have their Baptiste ultimate. So they get to do the pull, fire strike, combo, right? It's up to Note to kind of block it. Or Doa to block it with a wall. But either way, that's fine. Moment is so awful. Oh boy. I actually watched this match, but I don't remember this moment. Okay, Note's on the left side here, taking a short flank. They end up regrouping. Justice again, they're playing really far back, but they're really the team that needs to engage. Like, Fuel is playing a spam comp, so they're fine just sitting back, poking the enemy shield. Like, ideally, you don't even use the Elevote shield, right? Let's see what cooldown he's at. What's going on? Wait, what's going on? Stop. Okay, so he has it in 3 seconds again, so this is fine. But ideally, you have the Elevote shield for when you rush, so your Rein can't get frozen by the enemy Mei because you just put a shield in front of him. The K is on a flank over here. They use the Baptiste ult. Okay, so drone gets used. Let's watch that again. I assume just the pull Baptiste ult fire strike comes out here. The pull comes out. Baptiste ult comes out. Fire strike comes out. Clean combo. Nice drone here for closer. Good job by him. Saves Crimzo. And then Crimzo still dies. What? I looked away. Oh, actually, clean combo there from the Justice. Oh, Crimzo just randomly peeks and gets spammed. A mistake there by Crimzo to peek the amplification matrix. Doa goes in for flank. He dies. Okay, so Justice is probably going to win this fight. They get pulled. Note should go and die here. Yeah, so a little bit of an over peek there from Crimzo. And initially, nice drone actually from closer. Okay. Fuel, another day, another dollar. Justice only had to use that Baptiste ultimate to win that last fight. Fuel now have their own Baptiste ultimate. They obviously don't have the pull fire strike combo. They can still make it work though. Like you can still pull and then like Zen right click or pull Hanzo arrow. So yes. Again, what? Wait, what the f? Okay, never mind. It looked like it was in a wall. Again, why is the Justice so passive? They're playing like they're the poke comp here, but they're actually a rush comp. Like, let's watch this fight first and then rewatch it. Wait, you're using all their abilities to get away. Okay, so they dodged the amplification matrix. Elevote again used the shield just to play the shield war. Like, Dallas Fuel is absolutely fine just sitting back and spamming. Like, they've got way more spam. Elevote had to use Fortify and Shield just because they're sitting there. Now, Ark's just riding in. Roar's backing up even more. He has no shield left. Then Crimzo even trances in. Probably didn't need to do so. But sure. Kill Roar. Elevote tries to shield him, but he's already dead. And oh, Stratus. Did it get walled? Wah, wah, wah. He tries to Mei ult the Dallas Fuel, who are in a good position to get Mei ulted, and Crimzo's also just kind of wasted ult. So if he hit that ult, would have been great. The K, I guess, will get frozen here. He does get frozen. Apparently, Stratus is trying to... Okay. But they do end up winning it. And then they C9. Just no way. Oh, Charlie, ninth of his name. Man, I think this all boils down to Justice playing their rush comp like they're playing a poke comp. They're just not playing aggressive enough. As a Justice fan, this hurts. I understand you, Posco. I'm sorry. That was Charlie. This entire match here. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So first mistake, I think here, is that Elevote has shield, right? Closers just used the amplification matrix. I think this would actually be a decent time for the Justice to engage. Even if they get note ulted, they can still use the drone to like block the damage, right? And you want to be aggressive because you have Lucio in your team. Lucio means you have to make use of your speed boost. You're playing Lucio Reinhardt. Your Reinhardt has to get in range to swing, right? They even have Shatter, so they really want Roar to get in range. But instead of using the speed boost and using Elevote shield aggressively, Justice just kind of play this like a poke composition where they're all like using cover, all spamming the enemy shields. But that's not great because they have far less shields and far less shield damage than the Fuel here. Sigma doesn't have as much shield as Reinhardt, right? But he has more shield regen. Then Yada does a lot more shield damage than Lucio, definitely. And then Hanzo also does more shield damage and more pick potential and range. Koi's out here on like a super far flank, while all I feel they really need to do is look at where the Fuel is, see some of their players out of position, use the Mei wall, go on them, and make the fight really close range, right? I feel like Justice playing these fights so slow, like Elevote goes to 1 HP before the fight even starts. He has to use his Fortify. Roar is over here on top left. I guess he's blocking the pull for Arc. And, you know, Gamsu's Fortify gets forced. But Doa's actually the one to engage here for the Fuel. They end up freezing Roar. They even use an aggressive Transcendence. So there's a lot for the Justice to actually like make engages on here. And then the pull finally comes out. Roar is already dead. So they end up going in. Stratus ends up kind of whiffing the Mei ult. I guess it's not really a whiff. It's actually a really good Mei ult. It hits everybody. Yeah, it hits everybody. He hits 5 people with it. They kill people. But what they don't know here, that Gamsu's pushing the cart. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, 6 vibes. That's rough. My only friend that watches OWL is a Justice fan and they're devastating. I guess Mei ult did have range from that Hyvant Candy Dusk. So it was a really good Mei ult from Stratus there. They have more shield but less shield damage, don't they? Yes, they have more shield but way less shield regen and less shield damage. So I'd actually even say they have less shield because Sigma recharges shield a lot faster than Rein does, right? And Rein doesn't do anything from long range. Sigma always does damage, right? Sigma wants to be like medium range from his enemies. Ooh, and then the rat. It's spicy. Rat, Hanzo. Rat, Hanzo, and I mean they're just a poke-op, and they've swapped out Mei for Junkrat. What do I think about? I think this kind of leaves you open to pull Fire Strikes combos from the enemy team. And you can't stop the enemy. Like, what Mei is really good at is Mei stops Reinhardt. Like, being able to freeze Reinhardt when he gets close is good. Being able to wall off the enemy team when your team gets walled is really good, right? I'm a big fan of Mei and poke comps. And I guess the Junkrat is fun. But I'm not sure if it's like the best pick here. If the enemy team just goes the same comp, or like goes the rush comp with Mei, like the Justice doing right now, I'm not sure why they're on the Hanzo. And your Orisa gets walled, what are you gonna do, right? Like, are you gonna spam the wall of your Junkrat bullets? I guess so. You kill it pretty fast. But let's see how this plays out, because I think it plays out pretty well for them. Ryan recharges at 195 a second, Sigma at 120 a second. Still more. That's true. I don't know. It's just that Sigma does shield damage, right? But you're right, Canyon, yes. The Justice comp actually has more shield. It's just that they're lacking damage, right? They don't have the Zenyatta and they don't have the Sigma damage. Okay. So Justice go under. I think they could have just all went out. I don't think they knew that there was a rat on the enemy team. And this Swapperoo is mostly against Mei that they're doing. But there's a Junkrat on the enemy team. Do I like this rollout? I mean, Lucius is gonna die here. It's an interesting rollout for sure. Like, they send 3 people bottom, 3 people top that can spam. But they get wrecked by the junk instantly. I think you do this split because you're scared to get Maywalled. And just have your Ryan Mei get Maywalled by their enemy team. But against Junk, this is not great. And actually a nice like hit plus shift from Doa. That's really good here for the fuel. Instantly Koi and Aim God die too. Wow, Crimzo pops off. Yeah, so they're going out top. Closer has to use his immortality field. So they forced that out. Now Roar's already 1 HP. It's very bad. He obviously doesn't want that. And then Crimzo's over here on the other high ground end, actually. Okay. And yeah, he just hits his shots, I guess. Nice drone, actually, from Closer over there. Closer's been playing really well this block. Yes, please do keep asking. I like answering questions. Junk has more health potential than Mei. Maybe that's why. I also think this point's pretty good for Junk in particular because you kind of have to come out of these chokes, right? Maybe what Justice could do, because there's just no Mei on the enemy team, is they could just go main and then rotate point and then sit on point, make the enemy team come to them, right? It's not like they have that much less spam. And they can use cover. I'm just not sure why the Hanzo is in this Justice comp. Anyway, you are playing the rat. Okay, they're all gonna go top now. I think that's already a little bit better. Because the rat's gonna be spamming, right? But there's so much shield on this Justice comp. That you can just put the shield in front of the Junkrat. I think he does like 120 damage per bullet, right? And the Hanzo also does a bunch. So those shields are going to die pretty quick. But not before you get out of the choke. You're going to get out of this choke pretty safely. And after you're out, I'm not sure how good the rat is. They're hoping Koi will do a big pop-off. Probably. But is that a reliable way to play the game? There's 2 shields in front of them. There's already a trap. Trap comes out. They wall themselves off. So I'm not sure about that. Crimzo's on the other high ground. Elevo goes point. They all draw point. And then the tire comes out for Doa. And he waits, gets the Reinhardt. Okay. So actually that was already better for the Justice, but I'm not sure why they're walling themselves on this rollout. Couldn't they just get on the enemy team on high ground? Like, let's look at this picture here. Like, why? Can they just keep running at the enemy team? Like, is Roar Shield's that low? Why have they not used Elevo's shield to get close? Like, he still has it. They still have at least 1,000 shield. If they already used speed boost. Wait, Aim God is still so far back. Maybe they could have made a swap to like Moira. And like just went really hard on the enemy team. Now they're playing like the hybrid, right? But they're just getting out spammed. And Roar's not really getting into swing range. And they're kind of playing it like a spam comp. Because they have the Hanzo. But you're never going to win the spam war. Especially now that they're also playing Junkrat. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Tire comes out. The entirety of Justice gets split here too. You don't want to be split, especially when you're playing like Reinhardt, Lucio. Nice Tire. That's Roar. Who could have? Can only fire strike it, really. Can't do too much. Okay. Corey and Aim gotta kind of get edit on. Okay. Next team fight. Justice again grouped up. They have the Baptiste ult this time. There's nothing to stop it on the side of the field, except for maybe the Baptiste drone. But that's good, right? If you can get the drone out of him with the ults. Great. Yeah. So the field knows that the Baptiste ult is coming. They split up completely, which is very smart. They use their own Baptiste ult on an alpha angle. Which they obviously don't have the Reinhardt. The pull fire strike comes out, but it's only on Gamsu. And, well, Gamsu is a tank. So I don't think... Smart split, actually, from the field. Really good play from them. But... Probably don't do that play there. Because it's just the Orisa. And now they're standing still again. Because the enemy team... Why is Stratus not walling this? Like the strength of the mace, you can wall the friggin' Baptiste ultimate. Wait, what? He misses the wall. Okay, that's unlucky. Yeah, that's rough. Okay, and they lose again. The Hanzo comes out too. It's not looking too good here for the Justice. Okay, they have Mail, they have Shatter, they have Bongo almost, and they have Beat. Well, Fuel still have Bongo, Sigma, Ult, and Trance. Okay, so they do this free split again. Okay, nice speed away from Arc. Only gets Roar caught in the ultimate. In the Sigma ultimate, I mean. And then Aim God and Corey are pushing out high ground. Interesting play so far. They have Shattered, which they're not going to be able to use from this low ground, but the Beat comes out. But that beat is just a stay alive longer beat. It's not a I'm going to push the enemy team and win us the fight beat. And the Bongo is out too for the Fuel, and Bongo is really strong. Gives everybody a 50% damage boost, right? Corey uses his ult. He gets Doa, so nice job by him. Closer probably didn't have the ultimate there. Oh, he did have the drone, but Crimzo transcended it. And didn't heal Doa. Oh. So Crimzo just kind of he trans to counter the pull instead of, you know. Why did Doa get caught by that anyway? He's a Junkrat. He can jump away. Okay, so he doesn't have any jumps right now. The Hanzo ult comes in. And he just kind of ignores it. He has his jump when that Hanzo ult goes off, so he's just too greedy, I guess. They also missed the pull, but Crimzo still transcendences. Note drops down on Elevote. He's already used his Fortify. Stratus comes up with the ult though. Okay, solo Shadow on Crimzo. Honestly worth. Screw it. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He's dead. Interesting push there from the Justice. They did end up using 4 ults. But this time, they made the go bottom rotation work. I think they were a lot faster at walking out. And they actually didn't try to go up these stairs in the back with the Justice with their Rein, right? They actually went to the point to go force point, which makes a lot more sense. Because if you force point, the enemy team has to choose on what they do, right? I think Doa also made a big mistake getting killed by that. The Hanzo ult. Anyway, Doa has Tire. Okay, so they Baptiste ult, but they whiff. They have to make value out of these Baptiste ults because there's no real counter to it, right? Like normally you could Maywall. I guess Note could eat the pull Fire Strike. That's not the case here. Doa shifts out of it and they drone. Yeah. Nice try on the combo. It's a little off. Doa does get into a bad spot though. He's 1 HP, please kill him. Nice, they do get him. I think what Fuel did really well and what Justice isn't doing is that whenever Justice does the combo, they just kind of sit there and watch it, right? They're like, hey, we just pull Fire Strike. Woohoo, we did it, team. But Fuel used it as a way to engage. They like did it and then they sped in with it. And they like made plays on it. Now this was a little better from the Justice because Roar actually leaped forward, right? To finish that kill on Doa. But I don't think you can just expect that a combo like that will just win you the fight. I think you have to speed in with it or make a play with it, right? You do the pull fire strike and you speed at the same time. That could be like a lot better. They're just not underutilizing speed in my opinion. But good snowball so far from the Justice after they've capped first point. They used. Maybe they expect just to get a one-shot kill. Yeah, but I mean, at that point, even if you speed, you have already won the fight, right? Nice, another stagger kill. They keep staggering the Fuel, who seems a little more lost right now. Hanzovolt comes out from Corey. It's actually really good because it cuts off the enemy team. Okay, does the same thing though. Oh, excuse me. That was a yawn and a half. Tire comes out from Doa. Good disengage actually from Justice. I think disengaging from Tire is actually really good. And they have that speed that they can use to make those disengages, right? Pool comes out. Actually end up freezing Note. But they don't really follow up on the mail. I'm not sure why. What? Like if you use mail, you'd expect it to just go hard, right? This came back from making dinner. My ceiling still looking good, thank you. I repainted it actually while you were gone. Yeah. Oh, Note ults. So Roar actually can't go. So then Stratus shouldn't be ulting right now. He should just wait it out. I guess Note uses his ult as a reaction to the mail instead of the other way around. But not too bad actually. Stratus dying there is rough though. Yeah, he shifts, good. And then, oh, he just kind of gets headshot. Oh, yeah, nice headshot from the K. And they pull, they actually force out drone with the pull. Ooh. The yawns. Actually pretty late here, but we're doing it. Okay, Justice coming back in again. They have the pull fire strike Baptiste combo again. This time Fuel was swapped over from the Junkrat to the Mei though, so it's could be an easy block on that, right? Yeah, so they actually the first pull Dallas or Justice decided doing nothing, which is actually smart, right? They kind of baited that Mei wall, which is good for them. Baptiste comes out here, so Stratus walls it, good. They push on it too, sure. They have another pull, so it should look to go for Fire Strike. But they split up. Which, why? They just had the wall. Like, Doa has a wall again, I guess. But... War gets picked while they go for the flank, too. Like... I don't think you can... I'm not sure... You can go for those flanks, right? You play the Baptiste to AoE heal. Your tanks. So when you split them up, it's rough, in my opinion. Like if you want to do those splits, you might as well play Sigma, because he's better at flanking. Ryan's not really a flank character, right? And I just want to brute force or your Lucio speed. Put your wall behind the enemy team and it's go. If you're looking to play the rush, like I feel like Justice might have been better off just playing Orisa Sigma here, if they want to play like this. The Hanzo comes out, gets dodged nicely. They do the pull, fire strike combo. Barely doesn't get blocked by the wall, actually. Oh, I think the timing's actually off on the Baptiste ult too. But it wouldn't have killed Doa or Gamsu. The drone comes out too, so they actually got quite a bit of cooldowns with just the combo. Now they should really push. Oh, they shatter too. They still, okay, they're speeding in now. The wall comes out, yes, good. And then Doa uses his ult, right? So good initial engage there. From the Justice, they get walled. But they all get out of the wall too, or the Mei ult actually. And Fuel also Transcendence. Elevote ends up dying. But I actually felt like that fight was good for the Justice. Like they played that fight well. They got both the Transcendence and the Mei ult, which is a really big deal in my opinion. Those are like two of the biggest ults in this comp. But I think they just used the speed boost to go in there when they saw cooldowns come out. And maybe they could have gone even harder, right? But just the Mei ult came out for the Fuel. I think that's how you want to play the comp though. That they are playing. And now, obviously because there were so many ults online for the Fuel, they lost that fight. But I think if they go like that more often, it would have been really good for them. Because you use that AoE Baptiste healing then, right? You can't just play slow against a spam comp. You have to play faster than them. Like what you saw Dallas do so well is like whenever they pull Fire Strike, they sped in with it. They dominated with it, right? But when Justice do it, it just feels like they're playing a spam war while doing it. Anyway, next map. See what's going on here. They're again playing the exact same comp. Justice are, I'm not sure. Like, when we see other teams play this comp, they play the Torb actually to get like close and go fast. Like a budget Reaper with like the E. And also has some long range damage. I feel like Hanzo can only do long range, right? He doesn't do good up close. And then Fuel is playing the comp, but they actually have the Symmetra with it, which is really good up close, right? Symmetra can charge her beam. If she gets the point, she's very dangerous. And again, I think this Symmetra comp that the Fuel are playing is actually really good against this Justice comp. Unless Corey can get like sick headshots, but he shouldn't be able to do that against double shield. And Symmetra does so much shield damage, so it's actually a very good pick. Okay. So wall comes out. Nice. Actually, wall from Stratus whiffs. People can walk through it. Okay, he's just farming his beam. He's actually got his turrets up already. They're doing work. Wall comes out from Doa. The K gets droned, so this is kind of what you want to do, right? You want to get the K's beam up and running, and then when he goes low, you want to drone him. You keep him up as well. So nice drone there. Okay, he's gonna live. He's now charged his beam fully. I've just learned this, but apparently if Symmetra is beaming a shield, she regains ammo. So I kind of want to look at her ammo charge right here as she shoots shields. Okay. Oh yeah, look, she's regaining ammo while she's shooting shield. That's cool. I didn't even know that. That's why she like never runs out of ammo. Actually crazy. Dude, he's still just gaining ammo. He doesn't lose ammo. Fucking microwave. But yeah, if you can get that Symmetra beam up, which there's a high likely you can against the Justice composition, it actually does really well. And especially with those turrets up there too. I think what you need to do as Justice is have like the perfect rush, right? Like pull fire strike, get out the drone, kill the drone, and then kill the sim. But yeah, you see how they're, you know, they go for the rush, but they miss like a few things, I feel. No visual clutter in this game, by the way. They get the wall, but it whiffs, right? People can go through the wall. Then 4 hits. Elevote misses his shield. It's behind the enemy team. If that was in front, would have been a lot better to keep going on the K, because then Roar can't get frozen because there's a shield. Then the drone comes out, but what's this drone doing, right? It's not saving anybody, while the drone from Fuel is keeping the K alive. Then they don't really kill the drone quickly. They kill it. But 1, they don't pull fire strike to engage on the Symmetra here. 2, they whiff wall, and then they also whiff shield, so they whiff abilities. 3, they whiff the drone. They're just low value from Justice's abilities in this fight. It just gives the Symmetra more value, you know? If the fight goes long, Symmetra's always gonna win, so you need to like be clean with quick abilities. Anyway, Fuel cap first point really cleanly. They also got good ult charge to ward some of their ultimates. Okay, very good for them. Okay. So they teleport you high ground. Very good. I like this a lot because once again they're like getting in brawl range with the enemy team. They have their Baptiste ult, which I imagine they're now going to do a pull Baptiste ult fire strike with, which is up to Stratus to like kind of block. No, they just used the Baptiste ult. It does get blocked. Only combo too much with it. And the K is over here just charging his beam. But yeah, especially against the double shield, Symmetra actually makes a lot of sense. Shadow comes out. Wow, they're just getting ticks, and they've also Symmetra ulted on point now. Very good Symmetra ult for the K. Yeah, Fuel just take it just like that. What a snowball. Justice were not ready for that. I think they could have went a little harder on that first point. Bursted down the sim. That would have been really good. But second point, they had to use their wall against the sim ult or the Baptiste ult, right? And then the sim ult came online, so it becomes a lot rougher. Also, nice TP spot there. Maybe they could have been on high ground, especially if you have the Hanzo. I'm not sure if they were able to set up in time. Anyway. Fuel again on their defense, they're playing the rat. It was a little rat. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about the rat on the last map. But I feel like you need to be clean against it. Koi is now also playing the sim. So if they can successfully teleport, they're looking really good because... Oh, Rat's coming in. Oh, he's countering the teleport. Yeah, that's really smart from Doa actually. You're like, no, hey, they're gonna try and sim TP right here. I will drop on it and kill them. Nice counter. Very smart play from Doa. Okay. They probably can't do it again. Oh, actually, they don't even use the TP this time. They just see a tank, rush a tank. They use wall to wall off poke, but okay, they go rotate. Side. Corey's actually way ahead of his team. And the tire comes out from Doa. He gets 5 kills. What? Wow. He just kind of rolls in. Kills everybody with Tire. That's just a quick reset, guys. Don't worry about it. Though swaps to Doomfist now. It's interesting. I guess Doomfist also does well in denying TP, and Doomfist is, as I've said on the first map, he's like a big counter to Symmetra, because Symmetra has to be close to the enemy tanks to get value. So the Doomfist can really stop the Symmetra from getting close, right? If you get close, you're in range of getting punched. If you're in range of getting punched, he gets one shot. So good swap to Doa, or from Doa actually. Really smart, even though he just wrecked everybody at Junkrat. And yeah, just to successfully get the point, they used a teleporter to get to the other side of point. It's interesting. And then pull up, actually dodge the dragon with the teleporter too. But as I said, Doomfist is really good against Symmetra. Let's see how Doa actually shuts this TP play down. Oh yeah, he just hits Corey before he even takes the TP. So Corey's just a little late on taking the TP there. And that's rough, because Sim is like most of your damage when you're playing this comp. Roar also gets wrecked. Okay, now Justice have a lot of ults though. Shouldn't lose anymore. What I tell myself at night. They go left side, they do TP. Doa again is set up behind them. Literally stops them from taking TP. Oh, they still take it maybe? No, they don't actually. But they all live through that actually. Really. Wow. Pull comes out. Notes ult comes out. Trance comes out. So Dallas is now using all their ults. Corey's still kind of zapping. He ends up dying. And Arc also ends up dying to a punch. Dallas wins. Just another fight. And now that was mostly their ults, right? They had all these ultimates from all these fights that they've been winning. And Justice only used their Baptiste ultimate and their Symmetra ultimate. But that wasn't too much of the outplay. It was just a nice ultimate from Note, which killed the Symmetra. Because as I said, Symmetra has to play really aggro frontline style. Justice now full swapping the dive. Kind of a panic swap. But dive is actually pretty good against this fuel cup, right? Doomfist has to set up. You punch people. There's no mate to counter the ball. And this support line especially is pretty vulnerable to a dive. So interesting swaps there. And good swaps too in my opinion. Okay, Elevo goes, fights Doa. Elevo wants to go and force point for his team before they walk up. Oh. Okay, so Doa is just chasing Elevo. His team's now walking in. Ward goes low, but they're fine. They have the Moira there. This is an interesting rotation, actually. I don't know if I like playing from here too much. It's better to get this top left area by jumping on it from the window. What teams normally do when they play dive. And it's last fight territory here from the Justice. Gamsu plops down his ult because, well, Justice basically has to engage. And they're also beating now. Pretty good ult timing there from Gamsu. They end up getting the K, who was on the roof. What? How is he on the roof? Oh, he gets slammed up by Elevo. Nice slam there. He's just on the roof, dude. He's jamming. Ward jumps to the window. Now a dive comes in for the Justice. Actually, pretty clean dive. They get a nice slam of Elevo. Nice. Elevo's actually really good at Hammond too. Oh. And they end up winning the fight finally. Maybe if they'd rolled out dive, would have been better. I think for Symmetra to work though, one, they need to scout more and scout the high ground for Doa actually, who was behind them twice. And two, they really need to look at their matchup and then pick the comp, right? They kind of just walked out on a Symmetra comp and then kept going with it even though they're a Junkrat on the enemy team. Well, it's okay, right, to play that Symmetra into the junk. But they just need to scout behind them and on the high grounds. Because if they actually get the point, their shields are so massive that the junk damage is pretty insignificant on those shields, right? Hard to break those shields. Oh, Gnosis is getting zapped, dude. Oh, Crimson almost gets pulse bomb too. Boy, fucking Justice are all over the place here. I guess that they're playing dive, but oh Jesus. Yeah, Roar dives top, but there's nobody to dive with him. Elevo gets chunked, he has to go back. I think you need to either dive from main or walk up this top right if the enemy team's sitting top right. This is too long of an angle, right? The Zen can just kind of shoot them. Aimgod ends up dying. Corey's gonna end up dying. And the approach in the setup just was non-existent. I think you can set Corey up behind the enemy team, right? You can kind of send him on the left side, then he can blink over here, right? That kind of stuff. And he's okay there. But then the rest of your team needs to like approach high ground. Take this area. Maybe the Winston or the Hammond can dive from main, right? But I think you need to field a dive together on someone, and there they were just taking duels all over the place. Especially when the enemy team has so much poke damage, right? They've now swapped to the Brig. Brig Tracer is actually a really good combo, right? Where the K is going to have a very easy time dueling Corey because he has armor and Corey does not. The K's nasty at Tracer, so yeah, he's just dueling him, dude, like I said. Oh, he actually recalled there, so both Tracers got their recalls. Corey gets the pack, so it's not looking bad here. Or Corey on that flank, but then Aimgod ends up dying again. To Doa. At this point, I just feel like Justice is boom. Oh, Aimgod comes in, pops his ult. His ult gets cancelled. And then he doesn't have shift, so he's just gonna die. Okay. Okay, okay. They're probably gonna back out here because you can't really engage without your flex support. I also feel like the break swap is just a really good swap here from the fuel. Well, in my opinion, understood this meta really well. They played a bunch of things. They played spam and rush, and their rush was very strong. They kept going in really hard, and spam was also pretty strong. I think Beat comes out or Arc to close that distance. Get on the high ground. I'd like to see somebody dive from the low ground to the high ground. And Elavod actually puts all his mines on point, which is really good. They dive. Note does a good job of juggling his shield. And Aimgod dies to Doa again. See, Doa's just having a field day. And Aimgod dying there is really bad actually for Justice, because there you have no tank healing now. Lucia doesn't do a lot of healing. Stratus also ends up dying. Closer does also die, but at this point you just don't have the damage anymore and the healing to like finish up that fight. So even though they got a tick and their ult usage was okay, they used a lot of those ults very early, trying to take that high ground, and weren't able to convert it into a cap. Mostly because, once again, Doa finds Aimgod. I go inside the room. Go back a little bit. It's already the last fight. Holy crap, this series went quick. I'm also getting pretty tired actually, not sure why, but I guess just from looking at a computer screen too much. Anyway, Dallas Fuel, they still have the high ground control, which is exactly what they want, right? If they can just keep Crimzo and Closer up here, it's very hard to dive them, especially for a character like Tracer. They pop the bongo up here, great. Doa dives in again. He forces the shift from Aimgod. Dude, Aimgod has nightmares of Doa. The Flux comes out right on top of Roar. He might die to that. No, he actually... Oh yeah, he does die to that. And then at this point, the fight's already over, right? Like, all of the fuel had a lot of their ults and they're sitting on high ground. Justice had 0 ults coming in. That was actually the most unwinnable fight for them yet. Yeah, the Dallas Fuel ended up winning. And I'm not sure if it's really the Dallas Fuel being like that insane, or if the Justice just didn't know how to approach this meta, because they were playing rush comps, but they played it like they were playing spam on a lot of these points. Like that first point, or just Numbani in general, they just didn't play it as fast. And then on Aim God, not Survive God, do like Overwatch. And then on Ilios, they just kind of got outpaced. Like they picked the slower comps, and Dallas was able to just get up close and wreck them. So I think Dallas had a good understanding of the meta. They played that match really well, but I also thought it was pretty sloppy from the Justice, who were playing like fast comps, but then ended up playing very slow instead, right? And I'm not sure why the Justice was forcing the Hanzo so much. Maybe in scrims, Corey kept popping off. But normally if you're playing a rush comp like that, you'd want to play like Torbjorn, who can get in there, right, and do a lot of work, or Kree even, but most likely Torbjorn. So yeah, very interesting series. And that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all for watching on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one.